Have you ever stood before the mirror and felt a quiet ache rise within you, seeing a face that no longer matches the one you remember? The lines are deeper, the eyes more tired, the body less certain of itself. Friends move on, the world rushes forward, and suddenly you feel as if life has outpaced you. Aging can feel like a thief, quietly taking what once felt secure. But here is the truth. The enemy is not age. The true struggle lies in our resistance to what must change. The Buddha taught that suffering does not come from impermanence itself, but from our refusal to accept it. We cling, we fight, we try to freeze the river of time, and in doing so, we only tighten our own chains. Yet what if aging is not a loss at all? What if it is a gift, a path toward a deeper kind of beauty, a gentler wisdom, a freedom that youth could never give? What if every wrinkle was a story, every silver strand a crown of experience, every goodbye an invitation to love more fiercely while we still can? In this journey, we will uncover 5 Buddhist truths about aging. They may challenge you, they may even unsettle you, but if you let them sink in, they will change the way you see yourself, your body, your relationships, and even the losses you carry. Stay with me until the end, and you will see that aging is not the closing of your story, it is the turning of a page. The next chapter is yours to write. You will be forgotten, and that is okay. One of the most difficult truths to accept is this: you will be forgotten sooner than you think. The career you built, the home you cherished, the stories you repeated at family gatherings, all of them will fade. Even the people who love you most will one day move on with their own lives, and your name will eventually become just a whisper in the wind. At first, this realization can feel devastating. We spend so much of our lives striving for permanence, working to leave a mark, hoping to be remembered, believing that our efforts will echo long after we are gone. But time moves forward with or without us. Our children become busy, our friends turn toward their own paths, and the world carries on. Yet Buddhism offers a liberating perspective on this truth. The Buddha taught the principle of anatta, or no self. The belief that we are solid, unchanging beings is an illusion. Just as a wave rises and falls on the surface of the ocean, so too do we appear for a while and then dissolve, leaving behind only ripples that merge back into the vast flow of life. There is an old Zen story of a wise monk who lived in a mountain temple. For decades he guided villagers with kindness and wisdom. One day a disciple asked him, "Master, does it not sadden you that when you pass away, people may forget your name?" The old monk smiled and pointed to the river flowing nearby. "Tell me," he said, "where is the water that was here yesterday?" The disciple hesitated. "It has flowed on." The monk nodded. "Yet the river remains." The lesson is simple but profound. It is not our name that endures, but the current of our actions. Kindness, wisdom, compassion, these are like the river. They flow beyond us, carried forward in ways we may never see. Think of it this way. Do you remember the name of every teacher who ever inspired you? Probably not, but their influence shaped you nonetheless. Their presence left an imprint that guided your steps, even if their names slipped away. The love of a parent, the generosity of a stranger, the patience of a mentor, these are not lost when the names fade. They live on in the very fabric of who you are. To cling to being remembered is to fight an unwinnable battle, but to accept impermanence is to find peace. A single candle can light 1,000 others without losing its flame. The warmth you share today, the compassion you extend, the wisdom you embody, these are your true legacy. They do not need a nameplate or a statue. They live in the hearts of those you touch, even if your memory eventually dissolves. So let go of the need to be remembered. Release the illusion that your value depends on how long your name is carried. Instead, live fully in the present moment. Be kind, be present. Let your life ripple outward in ways that nourish others. That is how you leave a legacy far deeper than any inscription on stone. Aging, then, is not about chasing after immortality in history books. It is about making every day meaningful. When your final breath comes, peace will not be found in the thought that people might remember you. It will be found in knowing that the river of your life has flowed with love and integrity. So ask yourself, will you cling to the fear of being forgotten, or will you embrace the freedom of letting go? The river does not cling to its water. It simply flows, and in its flowing, it nourishes everything around it. You too can live this way. Your body will change, so befriend it. There comes a moment when you notice the shift. Climbing stairs leaves you breathless, your knees ache after a short walk, and the mirror reveals skin that is looser, muscles that are softer. The body you once trusted without question now moves more slowly, with hesitation. For many, this feels like betrayal, as if the body has turned against us. But Buddhism reminds us, this is not betrayal. It is simply the law of nature. Just as autumn leaves fall from the tree, so too does the body change with time. The real problem is not aging itself, but our attachment to youth, our clinging to the version of ourselves that once was. When we resist this truth, suffering takes root. The Buddha taught that peace arises not from control, but from acceptance. If you try to hold back the tide, you drown in frustration. If you learn to move with the tide, you float with grace. In the same way, befriending your body rather than resenting it is the path to freedom. Think of your body not as an enemy, but as your oldest and most loyal companion. It has carried you through childhood adventures, youthful dreams, and adult responsibilities. It has healed from sickness, adapted to stress, and borne the weight of every burden you've placed upon it. The scars, the aches, the fatigue, they are not signs of failure. They are proof of service. There is a Buddhist parable that illustrates this truth. An aging monk once struggled to carry water from the river, his arms trembling with weakness. Frustrated, he asked his teacher, "Why does my body fail me? It once obeyed my every command." The teacher handed him a cracked clay pot. "This pot once held water with ease," he said, "but now it leaks. Does that mean it is useless?" The monk shook his head. "No, master. It still carries water, and the drops that fall nourish the earth." The teacher smiled. "So it is with your body. It has changed, but it still serves. Its purpose is not gone, only different. Your body is like that pot. Perhaps you cannot run as fast, but you can still walk. Perhaps you cannot lift as much, but you can still hold the hand of someone who needs comfort. Perhaps your hands tremble, but they can still offer kindness. Aging is not about mourning what is lost. It is about recognizing what remains and using it well. So how do we befriend the body? Begin by listening. When it asks for rest, give it rest. When it asks for nourishment, feed it with care. When it asks for movement, offer it gentle exercise. Do not scold it for slowing down. Do not curse it for aching. Instead, thank it for carrying you this far. Gratitude softens resistance, and resistance is what fuels suffering. Remember this. A frail body does not mean a frail spirit. As long as you breathe, you still have purpose. Some of the most inspiring elders are not admired for their youthful strength, but for their radiant peace, their dignity, their gentle wisdom. They shine not because they look young, but because they have embraced age without bitterness. Your body is the vessel through which you experience this life. It deserves your respect, your patience, your love. Treat it not as a failing machine, but as a wise old friend. The marks of age are not signs of betrayal. They are reminders of all you have endured, of the countless days and nights your body has kept you alive. So instead of fighting your body, walk with it, care for it, thank it. And in doing so, you will discover that the fear of decline loses its power. You will no longer see aging as an enemy to resist, but as a companion to embrace. Because the truth is this: the body will change, but your capacity for kindness, for wisdom, for love, these can grow even stronger with age. Not everyone will stay, and that is natural. As the years unfold, you begin to notice something subtle but painful. People drift away. Friends who once shared every moment of your life become distant. Family members who used to call often now appear only occasionally. Some disappear entirely, leaving only silence where there was once laughter. It is natural to ask yourself, did I do something wrong? Was I not enough? But Buddhism teaches us that everything in life is impermanent, anicca. This includes the relationships we treasure. People arrive in our lives when conditions bring us together, and they leave when conditions change. Nothing in this world stands still, not even love as we imagine it. There is a Zen story of a young monk who once asked his master, "Why do people leave us when we love them?" The master led him to a river and said, "Look at the water flowing by. Do you see how some drops travel together for a while, dancing side by side, and then drift apart? They do not stay, but the river still flows." The monk understood. Relationships are like water. Some flow with us for years, some only for a moment. None were ever meant to be permanent. This is not a lesson of despair, but of release. The pain comes not from their leaving, but from our refusal to accept that they could not stay forever. When we cling, we suffer. When we let go with grace, we find peace. Think of the people who once walked beside you. Perhaps you had a friend from childhood, inseparable until life carried you to different cities. Perhaps you shared years with a partner whose path eventually diverged from yours. At first, their absence felt like a wound. Yet, if you look deeper, you will see that the love, the laughter, the lessons you shared remain alive within you. They are not lost. They have simply taken a different form. Have you ever reunited with an old friend after many years and felt as though no time had passed? That is because love does not vanish with distance. Presence does not end with absence. The connection still lives, untouched by the years. Likewise, even those who have left your life did not erase the bond you shared. They shaped you. Their presence helped form the person you are now. So instead of mourning every relationship that fades, celebrate the ones that endure. Treasure the neighbor who greets you warmly, the friend who still calls to check in, the grandchild who listens to your stories with wide eyes. Invest your energy not in clinging to what has gone, but in nurturing what is here. And most importantly, keep your heart open. Life still offers new connections, even in later years. There is always room for friendship, for love, for shared laughter, if only you do not close your door in fear of loss. The way of wisdom is this: let go with grace, honor what was, appreciate what is, and embrace what is yet to come. The people in your life are like chapters in a book. Some chapters are long, others short. Some are joyful, others painful. But every one of them is part of your story. And just as a reader does not cling to a single page, neither should we cling to relationships beyond their natural time. Aging teaches us this difficult truth. Not everyone will stay, but this is not a tragedy. It is the rhythm of life, the flowing of the river. When you accept this, your heart softens. You begin to cherish the presence of others more deeply, knowing it is temporary. You begin to release them more gently, knowing that their leaving does not erase the love that was shared. So ask yourself, will you live in sorrow for every person who drifts away, or will you live in gratitude for the time they were with you? The choice is yours. And in choosing gratitude, you discover that love does not die, it transforms. You no longer look young, and that is a gift. There comes a morning when you catch your reflection and pause. The skin is softer, the lines are deeper, the hair more silver than before. The hands that once felt firm and youthful now seem delicate, marked by time. In that moment, the heart may whisper, I am not who I once was. Society tells us to fight against this truth. Advertisements shout at us to erase wrinkles, to dye every strand of grey, to cling desperately to a fleeting image of youth. Aging is portrayed as an enemy, as something shameful, as if beauty belonged only to the young. And so we resist, spending energy and wealth trying to rewind the clock. But no matter how we struggle, time continues forward. Buddhism invites us to see differently. True beauty is not skin deep, nor is it preserved in flawless youth. True beauty lies in wisdom, compassion, presence, and dignity. It grows deeper with the years, not weaker. The wrinkles on your face are not flaws. They are stories, records of laughter, tears, struggles, and love. Your silver hair is not a failure. It is a crown woven from experience. There is an old Zen story of a woman who once approached a master with sadness. "Master," she said, "when I look in the mirror, I do not recognize myself. My beauty has faded, my hair is white, my skin is lined. I feel invisible." The master smiled and led her to the garden. He pointed to a cherry blossom tree in full bloom. "This is beautiful, is it not?" She nodded. Then he showed her an ancient pine tree, its bark weathered, its branches twisted. "And this?" She hesitated. "It is different," she said, "but there is something strong, something dignified in it." The master replied, "Exactly. A child may see beauty only in blossoms, but with time we learn to honor the pine." The lesson is clear. Youthful beauty blooms bright like cherry blossoms, but the beauty of age is like the pine, steady, resilient, dignified. It is not lesser beauty. It is different beauty, transformed beauty. Think of the elders who inspire you. Was it their flawless skin that made them radiant? Or was it the way their eyes sparkled with understanding, the way they listened with patience, the way their presence brought calm to a room? That is real beauty, the kind that cannot fade, because it does not depend on appearance. Every wrinkle you carry is a reminder that you have lived. Every silver strand is proof that you have endured. These are not marks of decline. They are marks of triumph. They show that you have walked through storms and still stand with grace. Imagine if we celebrated aging the way we celebrate spring blossoms, if every line on the face was honored as a story of resilience, if every strand of gray was admired as wisdom shining through. What peace would we feel then? How free we would be from the endless struggle against time. So when you see your reflection and feel tempted to lament what has been lost, pause, look deeper. See not only the changes of the surface, but the richness of the life that shines through you. Beauty has not left you, it has transformed. And in truth, it is now a kind of beauty that youth could never know. Aging is not a battle to be fought. It is a journey to be embraced. Wear your years with pride, like a garment woven with experience and grace, because real beauty is not behind you. It is within you, right here, right now, in this very moment. You will witness loss, but love never dies. As the years pass, one truth becomes unavoidable. You will lose more people you love. Parents, siblings, friends, perhaps even children. One by one, they leave this world. No matter how much wisdom we gather, nothing truly prepares the heart for that empty chair, that quiet house, that sudden silence where a familiar voice once lived. Grief arrives uninvited, heavy and raw. Yet Buddhism offers us a way to hold this sorrow without drowning in it. The Buddha never denied the pain of loss. He acknowledged it as part of the fabric of existence. But he also taught that while life is impermanent, love does not die. Consider the story of Kisa Gotami, a woman whose young son passed away. Desperate, she carried his lifeless body from door to door, begging for medicine to bring him back. Finally, she came to the Buddha, who told her, "Bring me a mustard seed from a house that has never known death." With renewed hope, she knocked on every door in the village, only to discover that every family had lost someone. By the end of her search, she realized her grief was not hers alone. Returning to the Buddha, she understood, death touches all beings, but the love we carry for them endures. Think about the people you have lost. A parent whose laughter still echoes in your memory, a friend whose advice continues to guide your choices, a partner whose way of loving still shapes how you love others. They may be gone in body, but they are not absent. They live on in the lessons they taught, the stories they shared, the love they gave. Every time you speak their name, every time you pass forward their kindness, they are with you. This is the great misunderstanding about grief, that we must move on. But Buddhism teaches that we do not move on, we move forward. We carry their essence with us. We let their love flow through our actions. Grief becomes not just sorrow, but also gratitude, a testament to how deeply we loved. Have you noticed how a certain smell, a familiar song, or even a phrase can bring someone back to life for a moment? That is their presence lingering in you. Love is not bound by the physical world. It flows like a current, invisible yet undeniable. Yes, grief is painful. The deeper the love, the deeper the ache. But rather than wishing away the pain, we can transform it. Instead of focusing only on what we have lost, we can cherish what we were given. Every goodbye means that there was once a hello. Every tear is born from a joy that once filled our hearts. Aging means facing more goodbyes, but it also means having had the privilege to love deeply, to form bonds that mattered, to be part of lives intertwined with others. Loss is the price of love, but love itself never ends. So when you feel the weight of loss pressing on your chest, pause. Remember, love is still here. It flows through your breath, your choices, your compassion. The ones you miss live on in you, not as shadows, but as light you now carry. In this way, the final truth is not despair, but hope. Death may close the chapter of a body, but love writes itself into eternity. As long as you keep loving, those you have lost are never truly gone. Aging is not a punishment, it is a privilege. Every wrinkle is a map of the life you've traveled. Every silver strand is a thread of resilience. Every loss you've endured is proof that you have loved deeply enough for your heart to break. Too often, society tells us to fear aging, to resist it at all costs, as if growing old were something to be ashamed of. But Buddhism teaches us the opposite. Aging is not the enemy, fear is. When we resist change, we suffer. When we cling to youth, we overlook the gifts that only age can bring: wisdom, patience, compassion, and a deeper appreciation for the present moment. But the moment we surrender to life's natural flow, we unlock peace. We begin to see that aging is not about losing what once was, but about gaining what can only come with time. So remember these truths. You will be forgotten, and that is okay, because your actions ripple far beyond your name. Your body will change, but it is your companion, deserving gratitude, not resentment. Not everyone will stay, and that is natural, for relationships flow like rivers. You no longer look young, and that is a gift, for true beauty transforms into wisdom and dignity. You will witness loss, but love never dies. It lives within you, always. The question now is simple. Will you fight against time, or will you embrace it with an open heart? Will you mourn what is gone, or will you celebrate what still is? The choice is yours. If you choose acceptance, if you choose gratitude, then you will discover something profound. Aging is not the closing of a book, it is the turning of a page, and the next chapter is yours to write. So walk this path not with fear, but with grace. Share your stories, laugh freely, love deeply, and live fully. For in the end, it is not how long you are remembered that matters. It is how deeply you lived while you were here. If this message resonated with you, share your reflections in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, so together we can continue walking this path of wisdom, peace, and mindful living.